Yep, I mean, I'm a Graves main as well. I love the champ. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you started playing last season, I assume?
No. I actually only started playing this season. This isn't really my account.
Okay. Yeah, I
This is
mean,
my friend's account.
my main account was my friend's account as well. I played on it for 3 years and I got perma banned for account sharing. So if you have the chance, make your own account. I can say from experience. But yeah.
Okay.
Let's see the builds. What are you building? You're kind of testing out the Immortal Shield Bow here lately.
Yeah.
Go invaders and prowlers. I love the prowlers tech. I'm a big advocate for the prowlers tech. One thing though, what I would like you to do is just pick one build you really like playing and just stick to it.
Yeah.
There's kind of
Yeah, I
the
think
same. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think I want to stick with the crit build that I was running at the top because I've been seeing quite a bit of success with it. The
Okay.
collector into the bow.
Collector in the
And
bow.
then
So
black cleaver.
you buy collector first. That's
Yeah, I've
interesting.
been buying that first. That was what Strike. That's a build that Strike's been like
Okay.
running. That's like his number one build that
That's
he's
interesting. I haven't
been.
tried that. So that's really good
Yeah, I've
though,
been
because I
getting.
really dislike the mythic power spike. It's not that strong in Graves. This is kind of chill. Yeah. So yeah, the reason why I want you to stick to the same build, so obviously Graves has a lot of builds, which you obviously know you're playing all of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the reason why I want you to just stick to one build and just play the one build like every game pretty much is because it's the same story as the champion mastery. So the reason why champion mastery is important because again, like we get to focus more on other stuff, and item mastery is kind of like the same thing. It kind of applies to champion mastery here, and it's gonna allow you to kind of be more comfortable with your power spikes and just like know your limits better, because on Graves especially it's really important to know your limits. It's kind of a limit tested champion. You have to kind of like go kind of ham and go close range, dash forward, stuff like that. So you want to be as comfortable as possible. So if you like the crit
right.
build, just run the crit build. Basically, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't worry too much about like optimizing your build for the game and stuff like that, because uh, we can look at someone like Canyon, for example. You probably know him, a Korean rank 1 jungler. He builds the most random shit. He like actually
Yeah,
builds like troll
for
shit.
sure.
Like he
Yeah,
build. No one should ever look at him and like be like, oh shit, what should I build on this champion? But like the thing is, he can still perform because he just has so much mastery on this game, and he has like basically mastered the game altogether. But yeah, so basically what you want to do is to stick to one build, get comfortable with it, get comfortable with the power spike stuff like that, and it's gonna be really good. The only thing I would really like to kind of change around is probably the boots and like the defensive situational items. So if you want to talk about a little bit more about items, I would never go any previous woods item on Graves. I think they're all shit options. So for example, Mortal Reminder here you build, or Bunk or whatever it is. But yeah, the builds are fine.
yeah,
I really like the builds, but again, like the variety in the builds, just like stick to one. It's gonna be really good.
yeah,
And same goes to runes as well. Again, the same kind of philosophy there as well.
yeah.
But yep, I really like the OBGG. It's really clean. It's just one champion pretty much. I love that. It's really awesome. And Graves is a really good champion as well. I think it's a difficult champion, but it's a good champion to kind of learn the role. The one thing Graves does not have is kind of like champion specific macro. I think he's really kind of universal champion, so that's really good. Okay, so we can move on to the VOD next. Okay, so what are you thinking when you go into the game like this? Oh wait, actually, let me see what happens. Okay, I'm recording. Okay, so let's talk about kind of the pre-game. What are you thinking at this point of the game when you kind of go into the game?
Uh, I'm thinking since it's an amumu, but he's gonna want a full clear, so I want to find out where he's gonna start, and I want to try to level 3 gank him on whatever buff.
Okay, yep. Level 3 invade on second buff. Classic.
Yes. Uh,
Championship. What else? How about the other lanes? What are we thinking about other lanes here?
uh, like which ones, like pathing wise? maybe I should probably be pathing towards.
Yeah. Just like, what are you thinking about the game? So for example, what I want you to think about at this start of the game is like kind of like, okay, where is the place where I am most likely to find money? For example, we have at this point identified that, okay, I want to invade this amumu because he's kind of a weaker jungler. But
Hmm.
I think the main thing I want to get across here is that I think the laner matchups are always more important than the jungle matchup. The reason why is because
Hmm.
laners are you can much more easily kind of like decide where you want to path instead of only for kind of adapting your gameplay based on the first buff the enemy jungler starts. But yeah, so the few things, for example, we can kind of go through this. For example, the top matchup here. So a few things to
Hmm.
notice about the top matchup is that it's going to be a double melee matchup. So what that means is they're going to be closer to each other when they are trading or when they are last hitting minions, which means they kind of like trade by default because they will be hitting each other as well as the minions.
Right.
So double melee matchup. So what that means is that when they trade, obviously they're going to be lower health, and obviously that makes it easier for you to gank them. Double melee matchup, and that's true for mid lane matchups as well. If they are double melee, they
Yeah.
are going to be trading. So they will trade, be low HP, can look for ganks. So basically, the biggest things you want to think about when you think about, okay, where do I want to path, who do I want to kind of like path towards to kill first, is you want to think about two things. So the first thing is, first thing, how likely is it for you to be able to catch them? So usually the easiest way to get around this is if you have CC, for example. For example, Yorick has the cage. I think it's W ability. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He has the cage on W, and Mundo doesn't have a dash. So you can
Right.
pretty easily gank the Yorick or the Mundo with the Yorick's cage. So again, first thing, how likely is for you to be able to catch the enemy? For example, in the Mundo example, he's going to be close to minions. He's not going to be like all the way safe under his turret hitting minions. He's going to be close to the minions. He's going to be in the middle of the lane. He probably trading stuff like that. He doesn't have any movement abilities except for flash. Again, pretty easy to catch up to the Mundo here, for example. The second thing is how easy or how likely, let's say, how easy it is for the enemy to escape. So again, let's take the top lane matchup. How easy it is for this Mundo to escape? The only escape tool he really has is the flash. So then we, for example, let's compare it to the mid lane matchup. For example, the Vega. How can he get away from the gank?
Uh, he has a flash, and then I believe that's the only movement ability
Yeah,
that he has as well.
that's true. He only has his flash as well. But the other thing he does have is the cage. The cage is really hard to
Okay, yeah.
kind of like go through, especially as Graves. It's a really strong ability in general. So the mid lane matchup, we're going to talk about it a bit in the mid lane section. But this guy actually has CC, and another thing is that so top lane matchup they're double melee, so they're going to be trading pretty heavily while they're farming. But the mid lane actually is double ranged. So that means these guys are going to be standing next to their caster minions instead of their melee minions. So it's naturally harder for these guys to trade with each other during the early levels and during the laning phase in general. So again, what can we conclude from that? These guys will probably be higher HP than these guys here. Stuff like that. But yeah. So how is it for the enemy to escape? CC, movement ability, etc. So you kind of think about these two things and then it determine where do I want to go? Because Graves is a
I
champion who
think you
needs
cut
gold.
out in Discord. I can't hear you.
Let's say blah 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 blah. What's going on with my Discord? blah 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 blah. Wait, which one is blah blah blah? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, now you can hear me. I don't know what's going on with Discord.
Yeah, yeah.
What was I talking about last time?
Last thing I heard was you were talking about Vagar's cage.
Yeah, Vegas Cage. Yeah. So so the things you want to go through during this game or even the champion select. I'm sorry. is these two things. So how likely is it for you to catch, and how likely is it for the enemy to escape? So if they have CC spells like make a cage, it's pretty easy for them to kind of run away from the gank unless you have really strong CC. Brad, for example, doesn't have that strong of a CC. He needs direct line, kind of like an Nautilus, except he has to hit 2 skills instead of 1. So it can be kind of difficult to gank this Vega, for example. Yeah. And what I was saying is that you always want to path towards the player who's easiest for you to kill. That's kind of like the base rule with Graves, because Graves is a really carry jungler. He really needs gold, and the easiest way to get gold is to go for the free kills. And the easiest way to get free kills is to kind of like predict who is going to be the easiest to kill target. For example, this game is probably going to be the Mundo based on the information we already gathered.
Right.
Yeah. But yep, about the double matchup again, like what I always want to look out for. Double melee matchup, they will trade. They will be next to their melee minions while they're hitting them. They will be trading. So again, mid matchup, double ranged. So this is the opposite. They will be safer in lane, do the range. They will be sitting next to caster minions instead of melee. Caster minions, less likely to trade during laning phase, especially the early on. So this is basically the stuff you want to kind of figure out before you even go into the game, because this is how you determine where you want to kind of path towards. But yep, jungle matchup, amumu. So yeah, so you already talked about you want to invade the amumu. So this is kind of the other thing, kind of as Grace players have the ability to think about is if you want to invade. And amumu is definitely a champion you can invade, but he's going to be actually a pretty hard for you to invade because he also has ignite, so he's kind of prepared for you to invade.
Okay.
But yeah, you said he wants the full clear. I would probably assume that tank junglers want the full clear. What tank junglers usually want to do instead is they want to usually 3-cap into gank, because tank junglers are usually the ganking junglers. They want to gank. So what they usually do is 3-camp, but of course they can also full clear. But it's kind of like I cannot really predict Tamumu's playstyle here. Amumu can be invaded, but again, I wouldn't solo invade this guy. Can be invaded, but he has ignite because of the ignite and the fact that Amumu actually deals a shit ton of damage. I think we will probably find it out if we do invade him later on in the game. But yeah, in general, like Graves is not that strong into AP champions, and Amumu deals AP damage, so that's a problem. But yep.
Right.
So then we're gonna talk about the bot lane matchup. And bot lane matchup is kind of the same as mid matchup. They're all ranged. All ranged. Pretty safe during laning phase. And then again, we want to think about, okay, I didn't. So again, we want to think about, okay, what's the CC my bot lane here provides for me to be able to gank? So here, for example, we only have Sen and W. Again, a pretty hard to hit CC. It's not like a Nautilus hit, point and click stun, stuff like that. So again, it can be tricky to gank the bottom line here, because again, you don't have a strong setup. So again, based on this information, I would probably start pathing towards top here, because again, easiest for me to gank this Mundo. And again, that's the mindset I want you to have when you go into game as Graves. Okay, how can I make the most money? Because that's what the champion does.
Right.
Those are basically the base things I always wanted to think about during the start of the game. Who is the easiest for me to kill? Yep. Let's do 1.5. Okay. Do you always go red smite?
No, it depends. Sometimes.
Yep. I usually like the blue smite the best, to be honest. Almost all champions. The only time when I actually go red smite on Graves is when they are like super ranged, like 5 range characters, something like that. It's hard for me to catch them, so at least the red smite provides the slow. Okay, some action here going on. Yep, it's fine. So we start red. Okay. Let's see, does the amumu get leashed? He's probably getting leashed on bottom lane. And that's another thing I see all the time in this elo range. when I coach people, people just start to love bot side. So yep, what we can look out for here, we can look for 3-camp invade to the wolves or to the blue. Stuff like that. But again, I probably wouldn't be okay, he's actually chasing us. Let's see. Oh yeah. So one thing right away, I really want to last hit these small ones. They're worth a lot of gold, especially now. They kind of shifted the power from the big krugs to the small krugs. So these, and another thing you want to do is Graves, you kind of want to
Hmm.
learn to spread your auto. So you can actually hit 4 of these with one auto. What you could even do is kind of like throw your Q here. You get like 60 gold. Really valuable.
Okay.
Get the small krugs. But yeah, obviously want to get here in the action. He's trying to cheese us. So he doesn't have flash. This gets killed by your bot lane. Okay. Yep. So this is really good. We adapted the game. Awesome. I love that. Yep. But now again, the play is already over. Let's get back to our canvas.
Right.
Okay. So we're going for an invade. Okay.
I know this is pretty risky. I kind of figured amumu would go to his blue since it's up, and I know that bot lane's pushed up, but
Yeah. He's
I
probably gonna
didn't
go.
figure that they would
Yeah, he will
go
probably
do
go to his
anything.
blue side. But one thing I would always want to look out for is so we have already identified. Okay, we have freedom on the bot side of the map. The amumu just died here after taking red pop. They're probably gonna go to the side where they have 3 camps. So again, we have freedom on the map here on the bottom side. What I want to look out for is this bot lane gankable because again they are pushed up. So what I want you to do is okay, check the lane. Just like look at the lane, physically look at the lane, click on the lane, click on the lane, see if it's gankable. Because again, like they're pushed up, so this automatically makes it easier for you to gank people when they are pushed up because obviously they have to cover so much more distance to get to the safety of their turrets, right?
Right.
So again, I would want to check out. I just want to click here. I just want to click here and see. They're all the way pushed up here. But yeah. The least what I want you to do is when you're done with the invade, that's at least okay. Now do I have a gank angle here? Can I do something? Can I achieve something? Can I get some gold? Yep. So this roll actually dies on the turret, which is unfortunate. But it's what it is. So this is so distracting, this jungle recommendation. I think it's just wait, this is from plates. Yeah, I highly recommend you turn this off. It's
Yeah.
so
I need to
unnecessary.
turn it off
Yeah.
inside of Blitz.
Yeah, you can just go on. I think there's like a gear icon when you hover over this plates overlay, and then you can just like actually turn on almost everything. The only thing I have on is ultimate timers and camp timers. Okay. Yep, that's a pretty solid base. So again, is there a reason why you are basing here?
Yeah, because I know my top side's going to be up, and I know Mumu's on top side, so I just want to counter any type of maybe counterplay from Mumu trying to steal
Yep,
my top
protecting your
side.
camps. Awesome. Yep. So this is a really solid timer in the game, especially for Graves and in general for invading junglers, the 420 timer. So what the 420 timer does or mean is that the first camp after buff is going to respawn at this time. So for example, in a more normal game where Amumu doesn't kind of cheese invade you here on the blue buff, what you could do, for example, you could be like, okay, maybe I go invade his Crux and spawn or stuff like that. Another thing is we want to be top to protect this. So this is actually really high level stuff. And I love this, that we are not taking this fall, so we are here to protect our camps. This is really good. Awesome. So 420, the first camp after buff is going to respawn. Do I invade their camp? / do I go protect mine? Really good stuff. I love this. So yeah, we are here right on time. That's awesome. We check the lane. So one thing, kind of how I want you to kind of start approaching the whole thing with clicking lanes and seeing the lanes, which is obviously really important for junglers because again we are the information gathering role. We need to gather all the information so we know what to do. So one thing I want you to do is when you see kind of
Hmm.
like people go on top of each other, for example, or like
Yeah.
people health bars really moving here, or like chasing and stuff like that on the minimap. That's when you want to click. So this is a really good click here. Okay, now we are clicking because now we actually see what's going on. What's happening? Is this guy dying? Is the amumu low HP? What's going on? Stuff like that. It's really good. So that's how I want you to start clicking the map. I don't need you to click the map like permanent, like check a lane every 2 seconds. I don't think that's necessary. But one thing you should always kind of be able to do is click the lane when you see action happening. And again, that comes down to champion mastery. We want to be able to focus on the minimap instead of clearing our camps.
Right.
So yep. So the one thing I would say, like instantly, what we need to start working on is kind of like gathering more information from lanes. So again, like this, we got the first 2 clicks on lanes at 5 minutes into the game. So that's obviously something we want to kind of start doing a bit earlier in the game. But yeah, here again, we see action on the minimap, people flashing, going all in. Okay, yeah, there's nothing to do. They're full HP. We're probably not going to kill them. Awesome. I love this. So go invade, see if there's camps up. No camps. I'm so sad. Red provider. Okay, we find him. Good. So again, what I want to instantly do, okay, the amumu is dead. I have freedom on the map. Can I do something? Obviously, there's no invade options because all the camps are down. So again,
Right.
maybe I go bot here, stuff like that. So again, every time that you kill the enemy jungler, or the enemy jungler shows, for example, on top side, or he's recalling or whatever, like we want to recognize when we have freedom on the map.
Right.
We kill the Mumu. We have freedom on the map. Can we make something happen? So stuff which you can, for example, do is again like the gank angle, countering jungling, invading, stuff like that. Stuff like you normally wouldn't be able to do or uncontested anyway. Dragon, for example, stuff like that. So we go for the Drake. Awesome. Split this up. Make it shows. Oi, oi. Yep. It's unfortunate. I won't worry too much about it. We got the Drake. It's still a pretty good trade. Let's see. I guess they played it pretty smart. They had a ward there for some reason. But yep, I wouldn't worry too much about it. So again, what I want to do next, amumu is bot side. I just spent a lot of gold. What I want to do now. So I probably want to go towards the bot side again to protect my camps and maybe kill the amumu. Okay. So now what we are doing, we are kind of going opposite to where the new amumu is. So again, like we have freedom on the map. So again, maybe we can look for the herald play here, stuff like that. But again, one thing I always want to look out for is to hit the level 6. Basically, the timer I set myself as a jungler, so some level 6 timers in league. So solo laners hit level 6 at 6 minutes. So it's pretty simple. Okay, 6 minutes into the game, solo laners are probably level 6. Junglers hit level 6 at 7 to 8 minutes, so a bit later than solo laners. And bot lane usually 8 to 9 minutes. So bot lanes are always a bit behind to most people, or the other lanes. But one thing I always want to look out for is I always want to be level 6 by the time the herald spawns. It's kind of like the thumb rule I have for kind of hitting my camps as a jungler. I want to be level 6 by the time herald spawns, because at the time, like
Okay.
everyone else is either already 6 or really close to 6. That's kind of the reason. So here, for example, we are really close to 6. Again, something I always tell people: be mindful of your XP. Again, like we kind of think about the time as if you get like a look at the, for example, the herald is a really good sign. Like, okay, the herald is spawning. You always know this stat. So that's when I wanted to check out your XP. Oh shit, I'm one camp of 6. Again, I want the 6 before I go make a play. Especially when we are one camp away and there's 2 camps here right next to the red buff. So that's something I wanted to kind of like start doing. Herald spawns. Check your XP and level. If you're not level 6, prioritize hitting level 6 first. Because now, for example, you're invading here, and these guys already have 6. They can like really easily come and stop you, and there's not much you can do. Or stuff like we fight for the herald and a fight breaks out. Oh no, we are not 6 yet. We are 1 camp off. Stuff like that. This is gonna kind
Right.
of like a safe bet thing. And in League in general, you want to go for the safe play and the most consistent play. Yep. Good, we get it. So now find a amumu at blue. Ooh. Okay, so you can see how the amumu is 6 here. If we are not 6, it's gonna be a disaster. I think it might be. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about at the start of the game. I probably don't want to invade this guy too much. Like, look at his item. He has he has an I'm not
Right.
sure what this is called, but he has only built tank items, and he's still like basically it's just like winning you because he has so much magic damage in his kit because he's a tank jungler. It's like these champions, they just have a lot of damage by default because they are not supposed to be building anymore, you know. And of course they ignite. But yep. So here we look at some top action. Awesome. So this is really good what you're doing right now. This is what I love. So we are walking out of base, and now is a good time again. Like now we can look at lanes. Really good. I love this because there's nothing we don't need to input any commands or anything. So this is a perfect time to look at lanes. 9:15 of the game. Looking at lanes. Well, walking out of base, really good again. Like we can still utilize the time, even when we are like doing nothing, or even when we are dead. We can look at the tab and think like, okay, who do I need to kill? Stuff like that. Who do I need to be careful of? Very good. So one thing again, what I probably want to do is use the W right before you're ganking on camps because again, it's a really long cooldown. It doesn't do much damage to the camps anyway. So it's actually something I kind of do by default myself as well, which I've actively been trying to kind of get rid of that habit. Yeah, get him some plates. Awesome. Momo shows. Okay. Yep, nothing fancy. Yep. So what I want you to think about next, okay, what's gonna happen next? And what's gonna happen next is the dragon is gonna be up in 50 seconds. So again, what we want to do as junglers, we want to kind of play around the objective timers. Always kind of like plan your actions based on objective timers.
Right.
So always think about the next objective. It's like it's so easy to kind of like get lost in the game, but kind of like an easy way to get back into the into focusing on the game is just like, okay, what do I want to do next? Oh, the herald is spawning in 1 minute. Maybe I want to recall to be able to fight it while I'm strong and stuff like that. So yep, we find some camps here. Amumu is known to be top. Again, the W, especially when we are invading, like this is hostile environment. We don't want to use our important
Right.
abilities while we are here. So
Yeah,
just
yeah, that
think
makes sense.
yeah. Let's see. Can we catch it? Okay. Oh, awesome. Didn't get him as well. Great. Yep, again, we have freedom on the map. What we want to do. Oh, the dragon is up. Maybe we want to do the Drake. Really good. I love that. So what we always want to do in League, we want to utilize the dead time of the enemy. So that's when we have like freedom to do anything, right? Because we have the numbers. This is really good. I
Right.
love this. The easiest way to secure objectives is to kill the enemy team before the objective spawns, right? There's no way they can contest it if they're dead. So that's kind of the mindset I wanted to have here. Some banana combos going on. So again, kind of like, okay, we already made the play, we got the Drake. Again, I want to be hitting my camps. So one thing to notice here is that
Right.
we have 6 camps
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's not something I
Mhm.
want to. It's not something I ever want when I'm playing Graves. So kind of like think about it as like having turns. Kind of like compared to chess, you have one turn. So let's say we killed the enemy. Okay, we gain a turn. Now we can do anything we want. We killed the Drake. Okay, now our turn is over. Now the enemy has a turn. So what I want you to do when you don't have a turn, when you don't have your chess turn, is just go hit your camps. So again, that way you don't fall behind and you kind of don't get lost here. Just like kind of A-ramming and stuff like that. Really good. We get the flash. Awesome. Nothing else to do there. Okay. Find some action. Good. So we're going for the invade. You really love this ward, don't you? So how would maybe if you find yourself placing this ward often, what I would place instead is this one. It's just so much more valuable.
Okay.
I place it all the time. If I have a pink ward, for example, I always place in this red brush. It goes unspotted so long, even in high elo games.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense because that bush is way less checked than the one that I put mine in. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yep, so now we are finally getting back to our camps. Now we are recon for the objective. This is really good, actually.
Just
Again, we are not
recalling
greedy.
this topside herald and everything.
Yeah, awesome. Again, we are playing around the objective time. This is really good. But one thing I want you to kind of notice here is that when we actually finish the trade, so the herald was 90 seconds from spawning. So again, what we could have done here actually, we could have taken all these 6 camps and then we could have recalled to the objective anyway.
Right. It'd have been perfect timing if I'd have just immediately started. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. Like the thing is, like, I don't want you to kind of go around and make too many plays. Kind of like do one play and okay, call it a day. Go hit my camps. That's your day job. You get your weekend of hitting the trach here for 30 seconds, then you go back to your day job. We made a play.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's hit the camps. Yep.
I kind of get stuck in fighting.
Yeah,
we love
exactly.
fighting in iron.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, and I love fighting as well. But we have to find a balance. And the easiest way to find a balance is again, like, think of it as like having turns.
Yeah, I got you. It makes sense.
Yep.
And like you said, it'd have been perfect timing if I'd have just started farming. I could have got all my camps and then bid super fed to take Herald on a back and been there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the difference. Like if you find someone, for example, smurfing the Zero, that's what they're gonna do. They're just gonna hit the camps. They don't really care too much about the fighting part. They just wanna get the sales and call, but that's not something I would worry about. For example, what I would worry about is recalling on the time for the objective. This is really good. Another thing is we have a really big buy here. Awesome, I love this. This is really good. So again, with craves, we can kind of run through the camps. So this is really good. We kind of like take a camp, but then we move on. For example, if you, I'm not sure if you watch Tarzan. I hope you don't. He's kind of a toxic personality, but this is something he does all the time. He kind of just like runs by the camp and then he just goes to the objective. This is what the champion does the best, Graves. He's just so fast at kind of like moving through the jungle while actually gaining gold.
Right.
The smite there is kind of questionable. Just hold on to the smite. Again, let's go back to our day job. I'm thinking what's going on. So one thing again, like I would want to check out this Mundo's health, for example. Again, like when you are nearby a lane, for example, we are in the top river. The lanes I'm worried about is mid and top. I want to see what's going on in those lanes. Always try to be aware of nearby lanes. Laner's health. So for example, I don't know if this Mundo is 1 HP, for example. You can just go and ult him for a free kill. You know, stuff like that. So kind of always want to look out for, like he wants to recall. I know he's low HP.
Yeah.
Man. I know.
Yeah, 100%. Probably is.
Yeah, and people always greed for this. So this is kind of like what I call laner behavior 101. Laners never want to recall before they get the perfect wave situation. They never want to do it. If they're 1 HP, especially when the Yorick is dead, like this guy thinks that there's no one else in the world except this Yorick and he's dead. He can do whatever he wants. And now he's pushing the wave with 1 HP. You know, stuff like that. So another thing I want you to do is like, don't think the play is over because your laner died. The play is over when you know that the enemy laner is kind of in a safe position, like he cannot be killed, he's too high HP, too safe, stuff like that, or he's actually recalled already.
Yeah, I pinged for assistance. I think I wanted Brand to come help me try to take control of the jungle area, so I could maybe try to make a play in there. And I might try to push this and then go invade. Nope. Or do I? Do I make use of that?
Yep.
Check it out. Yeah.
So again, like the biggest thing here is that like we are kind of wandering around about in the jungle. Again, like I wanted to kind of focus. As I talked about earlier, we want to go for the high percentage play. We want to become consistent. That's the secret to getting
Right.
good at League is to be consistent. Secret to League is consistency. And again, like the best way to know, okay, where's the best, where's like the most certain way you can fight gold? It's gonna be these camps you know are up. And instead of like kind of going on wandering in the jungle. Oh, maybe there's camps here. Oh, there's not. Oh, I'm so sad now. Because again, like this is the way we fall behind in CS, XP, gold, whatever. Also, use the gates when you come out of base. They're so good. The hex gates from the dragon. Good. We see amumu top. Awesome. We spotted that. So now we can look for the invade. Okay, there's no camps. Maybe let's go. Maybe let's go get the certain gold. So this is really good. But basically, in this world, we've just seen a lot of like kind of like wasted times. It's kind of we're kind of fishing a lot, you know,
Right.
for stuff we don't know which is there. So again, like I want you to always kind of prioritize the known gold, like the
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
gold.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Prioritize known and certain gold. And by that I mean your own camps. Okay. Good smite. Yep. There's too much hit here. I don't want to be here. Yep. So again, let's see that camps. So basically, as Graves, you want to be hitting. Like you want to be hitting something, like most of the time. Honestly, that's what the champion does so well. You just can hit stuff, and you can still kind of be ready
Yeah.
to move.
That's all I'm doing is krugs here.
Yep.
And no, obviously I got collapsed on right there.
Yep. We are kind of going balls deep there, but yep.
Yeah.
Again, it's fine. But again, I love this. We have definitely recognized an obvious thing we need to start working on in our gameplay, which is just like hitting your own camps more.
Right.
It's gonna be kind of like hell bent on this invade. I need to get this. Okay, and we find him again. He's he's probably so tired of us. Okay, we do get the kill. Awesome. So again, we're kind of in a pickle. Okay, we do a little
Yeah.
loop around. Awesome. Do we actually have collector here? Not sure. Going for IE.
Yeah.
Mm.
This was a like full crit build that I was running this game with bow into IE.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, do you? I think it's 1900 for. Wait, it's not. How much is it? I think we get collector here if you just buy it. I'm not sure. Yeah, we do get collector. Look, it's right there. It's a perfect gold. I would just buy this instead.
Do you think that's worth the item swap and itemization?
Yep, I mean, you can just go IE later, I think.
True.
And
Yeah,
collector is
yeah.
going to be
Makes sense.
dealing more damage than a BF sword, you know? So especially if you start the game with the Dirk, that's another thing I probably wouldn't do. I would only start Dirk or like buy it first if you actually plan on building on the item first. So the reason why, if you watch like really experienced, they do this because we've been playing with Dirk Rush for like 2+ years. So it's kind of like a really big comfort thing, but it's actually not that not that great when comparing to actually just like buying your mythic first or stuff like that. For example, what I've been doing lately is that when I play God Drinker Graves, I don't buy the Dirk at all. I just go straight into God Drinker. Just fuck the Dirk.
Okay.
It's really not that impactful as people kind of think of it to be. But yeah, really good. Now we just farm some camps. Again, let's go. Let's farm some camps. I love my day job, 9 to 5, hitting all the camps.
You'd be surprised on how many people hate it when I'm just farming my camps.
Yeah, I mean,
Like they
obviously people
can't
hate it, but
stand it.
yeah. But this is like what junglers have to do, especially when you're playing carry junglers. Like this is what we need to do. And now, like, okay, now we have 3 camps. We just took 3 camps. Now I'm like, okay, now I can maybe look for a play. So basically, one thing you can kind of like, how you can kind of like start thinking about balancing farming and ganking is, so this is what we call a jungle quadrant when we have one fourth of a jungle right here. So there's 3 camps. So one thing you can kind of like start thinking about is look for plays after clearing an entire quadrant. So when you get all these 3 camps or 2 camps if the buff is not up, and then you're like, okay, now I look mid. There's no player here. Okay, I just keep on going. And again, like clear the whole quadrant, and then you can look for plays. So this is kind of like an easy general rule to kind of like keeping up with the CS and the ganking. But yep, as Graves, we just have to hit the camps a lot. That's what the champion does. We are really good at farming the jungle and getting gold that way. And you know, when you have 3 Adam Craves, it's just kind of hard for the enemy team to do much anymore. So if you get there faster than everyone else, it's what the champion wants to achieve. Awesome, great. Again, we killed them before the objective. Now it's the free time to do the objective. Awesome, love this. You're actually playing really well around the objective time, which I love. It's really good. It's really good. I think the Blitz timers as well help with that. So we actually got Soul at 24 minutes. That is insane. Really good. So again, now we want to think about the next objective. I know people love to ignore Baron in this elo bracket, but like, just take the Baron. Let's go. Let's work towards it now.
Yeah, I think that I have an opportunity that I recognize in this game that we get like a 4-man kill, and I recognize later after I saw this game, I was like, making the call. So
Yeah. Yeah, but that's really common. Like, I don't know. People are so afraid of Baron for some reason. I don't know why. It's a really important game-winning objective. Ooh. So yeah, this is probably the moment. We just killed everyone.
yeah,
could
this
actually
is
just
the
blow it.
exact moment right here that I was talking about,
Yep,
and
but it's fine.
it is an easy snag.
At least we get a lot of camps down. Again, what I want you to do, just take all the camps, get all the gold. Graves is a really gold-dependent jungler. So if you fall behind in gold, you're gonna know it. You're gonna be tickling the amumu like a
Right. Yeah,
like an
100%.
AD and Evia. Yeah. So that's why we want to be really focused on the farming with Graves. But the thing with Graves is you don't need to kind of like power farm because you can kind of like do it while you're playing the game. You know, like while you're actually playing the map. Because you just run through camps. You just kite them and okay, I'm already next to mid lane. I guess I'll just gank it, whatever. You know. Awesome. Really well used abilities here. Love it. I'll movement again. Okay. Without the Baron, which is nuts. But yeah. What was I saying about yeah, 23 minutes already talked about that. But yeah, I think the biggest things here. So I'm gonna write up some learning objectives for you. So these are the things, like the main things I wanted to take away from this game and wanted to kind of start applying to your future games.
Okay.
So the first one is try to be more aware of the nearby lanes. So again, at the start of the game, we talked about, okay, who's most likely for us to kill? Probably the top laner. He has no escape, and like they're melee, they're easy trade. But as the game progresses, what's even more important is who's low HP, and people are constantly low HP, and they're getting away with it. You don't want that to happen. So these are the easiest kills for you to get the low HP ones. So that's something you always want to focus on as a jungler, because all this such an easy way to kind of get fed with this champion. It's just like go ult someone with their low HP pushing up the wave. They always do it. So blah 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 blah. Did I? Did I not? I did. Hello. Okay, you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. Was talking about? Yeah. So try to be like kind of during the laning phase. So kind of try to look more towards the nearby lanes and what's going on them, because you'll be surprised how often you find like 0 HP targets just laning away. Like this Yorick just lasted minions. You don't want that to happen if you're the amumu, you know? Stuff like that. So thread me off of nearby lanes. For example, when in top river, you want to know blah blah blah. Okay. You want to know the health of mid and top. Stuff like that. 2. What does it 2? It'd probably be this prioritize known and certain gold, your own camps. And kind of the chest turn thing, if that made any sense to you, I'm not sure if that made any sense. So basically, the deck in the Drake was the one turn you had, and then you have to go back to your day job. So again, like think about the day
Yeah,
job.
yeah, that makes sense.
Think about the day job. You always want to be hitting camps.
And what you were saying after I took that dragon, and I was just pretty much wandering there senselessly, was like, I mean, I could have had the perfect timing, literally straight into Herald if I'd have just went straight back to farming camps.
Yep.
Already took an objective, made a play. I might as well go back and secure gold in camps. So.
Yep. And again, like the biggest thing here is I always want to have at least some camps on cooldown, especially when I'm playing Graves. It's so important for you to be hitting your camps when you're playing these win condition carry junglers. Really, really important stuff. So yeah, again, like the same thing here. We made a play. Let's hit the camps. But yep, the good thing about this game, definitely the objective times. Like we are really on time to the objective timers. I love that. We are like really following the timers, which is really good. And that's one of the things I love about these jungle timers on Blitz is that I actually get them on the map, so I don't actually have to press a tab. It's really good. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I've been making sure I get as much resources as I can, get a good back, try to get somewhat decent setup, and be ready for objectives. And I've been seeing success. I've won my most recent games and hopefully starting to climb out of iron.
Good, I hope so too. One more thing here would be, so yeah, this was another really good thing. I think we did probably once this game, but when you have, for example, pathing towards the krugs here or for the red buff here, again, what I want to look out for when I'm walking here, because again, like I don't need to do anything, I'm just walking. This is walking here, you know. So what I want to do, I want to click on the top lane. Okay, is there low HP target, stuff like that. So again, it kind of goes back to be more aware of nearby lanes. But again, like when walking out of base, check the lane status of the lane you're pathing towards. Because again, there's so much free gold you are missing out on. But you don't even know that because you don't check the lane. So definitely something we need to start working on is checking out the lanes more.
Right.
And one really important gameplay thing here was this one camp of 6. It's a sin. It's a cardinal sin. You shouldn't do that. You go to hell if you do this.
100%.
So again, try to be more aware of your.
Could have easily done Krugs because isn't Krugs the most XP camp?
Yep. Or even do the Raptors and just get 6, and then you can do whatever you want. Because again, like now we hit another power spike. But yeah. But the biggest important thing here is that stop using W and camp so much. I would prioritize that over the level 6. That's whatever. But like constantly like we're thinking about okay, be on Krugs and we're like okay, let's go gank top. But then our W is on a 20-second cooldown. It's the only utility spell this champion actually has.
Yeah.
So we obviously want that again, like because we need to be able to catch people. Yeah. Stop using W and camp so much. But yep, that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions?
I think that pretty much covers it. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send you these notes right now. And what I'm gonna do after that, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. And what I want you to do is kind of check out the recording again. maybe tomorrow or something, and kind of like go over the board again to make sure something actually sticks and stuff like that. But yep, again,
Okay.
like the most important thing is here to take away the learning objectives. So these are the things I want you to start thinking about in your next games. Stop using
Okay.
W and cap so much. Walking out of base, check the lane status of the lane you're pathing towards,
Hmm.
and like your own camps. So like hit your own camps more. And
Okay.
again, like the goal as Graves, never have 6 camps up. Just never have that. I hate that.
Right.
I
Right.
hate when that happens. When I do that, like it's like an OCD. It's about fuck. I need to go get at least 1 camp off before I need to before I make a play or something.
Okay.
But yep,
Yeah,
that's
that
pretty
makes
much it.
sense.
Yep. So thanks for bringing this review, and I hope to be working with you in the future as well. And good
Yeah,
luck
for
on your
sure.
climb.
I'll try to get some more games played, and then maybe a week from now get another gameplay and see if we've made improvements and stuff. So
All right. All right. Looking forward to it. Okay. Well, good luck and see you later, man.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, time to delete the bot. What's going on in my chat? I bet he listens to L9 Twitch playlist. Bro, I'm actually gonna make a banger tweet out of this. The playlist you sent me, Prisma, it's gonna make a banger play. It's gonna make a banger tweet. Oh my god, I bet he listens to this. I bet she listens to this. I can fix her. What's this? Oh, banger. It's all 3 banger tweets. Awesome. I like all of them. Currently play like 20 different champs and 3 different roles. God damn, bro. You need some help. How's Velja doing? Velja. Oh shit. This guy's close to 3 challenger accounts, by the way, and I can even get 1 to GM at the moment. I'm so sad. Can I have it maybe? Bro, my my Twitch chat is used as a front for account trading. That's not good. This is bang a tweet. God, give me 1 second to stop playing ADC and I'll quit. God. This guy was so shit at ADC, it's disgusting, bro. It was disturbing. What I'm gonna do now? I'm not probably gonna play anymore. The last 3 games I played were so disgustingly bad that I will probably never play again. So I'm probably gonna start uploading these coaching VODs to YouTube, and I'm gonna head out. So thanks everyone for watching and chatting. Oh shit, I'm still recording.